Hi everyone, Namastey, I'm Divya Sharma and welcome to my channel. So today's video is extremely special because I just finished my Step 2 exam and I am fresh with the entire experience, my preparation, some advice as well as a few regrets, and I'm going to be sharing all of that with you in all honesty and being extremely candid about my experience. What I hope that you gain from this is just a reality of how the USMLE exams are, the Step 2 CK exam especially, and the entire experience of giving an 8 hours long exam. So stay tuned till the end because I'll be sharing some of my tips for the exam day to have a smooth experience. Alright. So jumping right into the Step 2 CK exam, it is an 8 hours exam and you have 8 blocks of 40 questions each, plus a 45 minutes of break and a 15 minutes of tutorial. You can skip the tutorial, you can just check your headphones and you can save about like 10 to 12 minutes. That gets added to your break time and I highly recommend that you do that. My exam started about 7:45 a.m. and I ended about 4:40 p.m. I took a break after every block, so a minimum of 5 to 6 minutes break, and I would go out, drink some water, use a washroom, eat some dry fruits, and then they would have the checking process and then I would get in and start again. So what I did to just keep a track of how much break time I'm taking is during the tutorial time they give you these scratch sheets where you can just write down. So I just wrote 1 to 8 my blocks and I added the amount of break time that I would like to take after each, and every time I took a break I just glanced at the clock and I wrote down, okay, how much time is remaining, did I take some extra time, did I take some less time, and all of that, and very quick, like just a few seconds. So that would be my first advice, that do take breaks. How I planned my breaks was in the beginning, after the first block I took about 5 to 6 minutes break, and then I took 7 minutes break between my second and third block, third and fourth block. Then I took a lunch break, about a 15 minutes approximately, and then I had 4 more blocks to go. Towards the end I think I just had 2 minutes break time left, so I think I was well in buffer time for my breaks and my blocks. Coming to the exam experience, I think it went pretty smoothly, my exam, thankfully. There were a few people who were taking different exams like TOEFL and some other medical exams, so there was a lot of disturbance with them typing on the keyboard, so I tried to use the noise cancelling headphones and I would recommend you try that too. It does not cancel the entire background noise, but it helps you to get into the zone. Coming to the exam per se, I will not be revealing any question or topic because that's just not allowed, but I can just tell you the format and how I felt the exam, the stems and the options were. So I don't think the stems or the questions or the concepts that they were questioning you on was out of the blue. It's something that you would expect, right? And it's just that the options, now among the 4 or 5 options, it was easy to eliminate and come down to 2, but I found it almost impossible to choose between the 2 because I had no clue what they actually want me to choose. So that's what I just told my friends and family after I finished my exam, that it was a really vague exam and I have no clue how I've done. I feel like I've marked everything wrong and I've come. So yeah, it was extremely vague. But it wasn't, the topics as such that you are questioned on wasn't out of the blue. So there's something called the USMLE exam outline. If you go through it, you will know that, okay, yeah, this is what I can be questioned on. So I highly recommend you do that. And coming to the length, definitely some questions were lengthy. It was lengthier than UWorld, and few blocks had like really small and extremely direct questions, so that was good as well. I think there was a good balance. And just like UWorld, how we have these randomized controlled trial essay and then we'll have 3 questions for that essay, I had a couple of them, and I also had a couple of patient case reports, like case charts with their name, age, their chief complaints, their vitals, And actually that didn't take much time. I thought that would, but I just glanced through and I answered the questions. So yeah, overall the exam was extremely vague, and the minute I came out, I'm like, I don't know how I did. Like, there's no way to know how I did. So I just stopped thinking about it, but this is how the questions were. And coming to, was the time enough for each block? I would say yes, it definitely was. For most of my blocks, I had a few minutes left, maybe like 4 or 5 minutes, or sometimes more, I can't remember exactly. But I did have some time left to go through my marked questions, but I had like some 10 to 15 marked questions, anywhere close to that. So of course I couldn't go through all, but I did have time to just like glance through a few questions. But I would suggest that you mark every question before you move on. Like, just select an answer. If you have no clue also, just select it, because you might not have a chance to come back to it again. And at the end of the block, when you have 5 minutes left, you get a warning, so that's really helpful. Don't panic on that warning. You just be like, it's just for your information that, hey, you have 5 minutes left, so yeah, hurry up. So yeah, I found that quite useful. So coming to some of my advice for your big day, the exam day, the first thing is carry your documents, which is the passport and your scheduling permit. That's all you need. The next thing is what to wear. So this may sound trivial to a few of you, but it's extremely important, because every time you step out for a break and you come in, they have this whole checking process. So if you're wearing something with pockets, they'll tell you to flip out the pockets. So that's just an added extra thing that they'll have to do. And so I would suggest that you wear pants and t-shirt and sweatshirts with no pockets. The other thing I would say is do wear a thin sweater, because the testing center is usually quite cold and you don't want to feel uncomfortable for like 8 hours. So do wear a thin sweater. And no jewelry. You shouldn't be wearing any kind of jewelry. Nothing is allowed. If you are someone who wears specs, I do. I'm wearing lens right now, but during my exam, it's best you wear specs, because lens can actually irritate your eyes even more. So I suggest that you go with specs. Alright, the other thing is, during every break, what do you do? So the first thing is just go out, drink water, use the washroom. Go use the washroom, even if you feel like you don't have to, because eventually you will want to. And I usually ate either a slice of apple or some dry fruits. I don't drink coffee, so I didn't want that to stimulate me or make me pee more. Apple is very good. It keeps me sharp, and it was like the best fruit that I could have at that time. And I would suggest that do carry lunch. I know some people prefer not eating anything during the exam. I cannot do that. I'm not someone who can can go on without food. So it's just that you don't eat something heavy carbohydrate food and fatty food, which will like make you sleepy and you have like the glucose crash later. So what I ate was a very bland paneer and roti. That was like my lunch and I did my lunch after 4 blocks for 15 minutes, and then I had 4 more blocks to go. The next thing is just between, like when you're taking your block, make sure that you're looking at the timing. I'm sure you would have practiced this with UWorld. So how I did was that at least this was like the max that I can take time for each question. At 10 question mark, it would be 45 minutes equivalent time, and then by when I'm at 30 minutes of mark, I should have finished 20 questions, and I should have finished at least 30 questions when I'm at a 15 minutes mark. On the exam day, I think you're gonna go a little more faster than usual, so try to do that. And the second thing is, don't get stuck on questions. If you're taking more than 1.5 minutes, just mark something and move on. Trust me that it's going to save you time and your sharpness by the end of the block. But the other thing is, you're being monitored the entire time, so do not talk to anyone either in the exam center or during your break time, and you're not allowed to use gadgets or any sheets or preparation material. So just make sure you don't do any of that. So yeah, that I think is mostly the entire experience. All I can say is that it is doable. It is a very long exam. You're there for 9 hours and you are I think your adrenaline rush is at the highest at that point, and you're just like streaming through all the questions. Don't panic, just be excited. Honestly, I was extremely excited. I was just like, I'm good, I'm done with one block, just 7 more to go. And then when I was at the 5th block, I'm like, oh my god, only 3 more to go. And my last block, I finished it like so soon. I had like some 12 minutes left in the end, because I'm like, I am done, I'm just going to mark and move on. So yeah, it's just that, be excited. Just being done with just getting through 8 hours of exam time is a win in itself. So don't worry, it's going to be good. Trust in your preparation and just enjoy the process. Alright, so that's all I had about my exam day experience. I hope it helped calm some nerves. If you're taking your exam soon, I hope these tips will be helpful to all of you. In my next video, I'm going to be sharing my entire preparation, timeline, resources, as well as regrets, because I have a couple of them. So stay tuned for that. And hey, if you like this honest experience video of mine, please do consider subscribing. It really gives me a boost to make such videos. See ya, bye.